November 19th, 1999. Almost 25 years ago. The last time we had a single world boxing heavyweight champion. Lennox Lewis versus Evander Holyfield that day. Natural heavyweight versus a natural cruiserweight stepping up to heavyweight. Bears quite the comparison to the fight that we've got tonight. Almost 25 years later, quarter of a century, May the 18th, 2024. And tonight, we're hopeful, unless something happens, that we get an undisputed heavyweight champion of the world again. How long that'll be for, till the belts are broken up, we don't actually know. But tonight, WBC and Lineal heavyweight champion, Tyson Fury from the UK, puts his belt on the line against Olexander Usyk, WBA, WBO and IBF heavyweight champion. Obviously, this was supposed to happen at Christmas last year. For one reason or another, it fell through. Usyk had beaten Daniel Dubois, although in a controversial fight in August, where Daniel put him down with a hotly disputed body shot. Some say it was legal, some say it was below the belt. I can see arguments for either, but it highlighted an issue that Usyk may have to the body, and he went on to win that fight very handsomely, as he tends to do. I mean, Usyk's a machine. And then we had the circus fight, many thought of it. Tyson Fury putting his belt on the line, actually, against Francis Ngannou. What was that? I don't know if it was the belt. Can't remember. And obviously, Ngannou put him on his arse, and many people thought Francis Ngannou from the UFC won that fight. Tyson won it on a split decision. I could see cases for all outcomes in that fight. Fury winning, Ngannou winning, and a draw. So that fight then got, and obviously he got a bit beat up and roughed up, Tyson, in that fight. So the fight was delayed from the Christmas time to it was originally supposed to take place in February the 17th, out in Saudi Arabia again. And it got delayed again because a week or so, 10 days out from the fight, Tyson received a cut on his right eyelid in sparring. A lot of people thought he'd done it on purpose, or it was an old cut and he was trying to duck Alexander Usyk, the Ukrainian. All mental conspiracy theories where I came from. So yeah, and that's led us to here and now. May the 18th, tonight, probably tomorrow morning in actual fact. The biggest fight in a long time. Two undefeated heavyweights fighting to undisputed as well. I don't think that's happened since around about the 70s. So take the tape. Tyson Fury, age 35. Usyk's 2 years older at 37. Height. Fury's got the height advantage here. 6'9" against Usyk's 6'3". Weight. They both weighed in yesterday. There's some contention about Usyk's weight, actually. So Fury weighed in at 266 pounds. So that was 15 pounds lighter than when he fought Ngannou. And Usyk's official weight was 233, although they're disputing that, I think. So there's still about a 30-pound weight difference between the two of them. I think that's going to be key. Reach is where Tyson really has the upper hand on this, no pun intended. So Tyson's reach is 85 inches, where Usyk's is 78. So he's got a 7-inch reach advantage. He's got the height advantage. He's got the weight advantage. And I think all these things they're going to be key in this fight tonight. Record: Fury's 34 fights, no losses, 1 draw against Deontay Wilder with 24 knockouts. Usyk, 21 fights, 21 wins and 0 losses with 14 knockouts. So that's the tale of the tape. That's the history of the fight. What do I think? If you're interested, I think this is an interesting fight. I've watched a lot of people go back and forth on this week. It's a fight I'm excited about. I am excited about it. I've always loved boxing. It's been probably my favourite sport for many years. Obviously, the Usyk, undefeated in the pro ranks, Olympic gold medalist, and over 200 plus amateur fights, only lost a handful. I think Tyson Fury only had a 30 odd amateur fights, lost a handful of them as well. So the amateur background of Alexander Usyk is light years ahead of Tyson Fury. Obviously, Tyson Fury's had more fights in the pro ranks. Olexander Usyk, former undisputed cruiserweight champion of the world, stepped up to heavyweight, fought Derek Chisora. I think he struggled a bit against Derek Chisora. Obviously, took Anthony Joshua to the cleaners twice, although Joshua put up a lot better performance on his second outing against Usyk, and then beat Daniel Dubois. The thing with Usyk is he takes a little bit of time. Everyone calls him a wizard, and as a tactician, absolutely incredible. Always on the move. Obviously southpaw. Lots of bobbing and weaving, the side head movement. Constant. Got a great engine on him. Gets stronger as he works out his opponents, and he goes through the rounds and just wears people down. Tyson Fury, obviously big, but got a good brain. Not your typical heavyweight boxer is Tyson Fury. He doesn't have that the heavyweight boxer physique. But what he does is he uses his attributes really, really well. He's tall, he mauls, he uses his reach to his advantage, but he's also very good on the inside. Obviously, the Ngannou fight probably caught him out. I think it's been universally said he didn't really take Francis Ngannou that seriously. When he turned up in Saudi Arabia this week, he looks trim. He looks well. I watched somebody make a comment about his skin being really shiny and nice, and I think he looks like he's in a good mental place. Let's not talk about his dad too much, but so I think they've both got really good attributes in this. Tyson's obviously, he calls Usyk rabbit, so he's expecting to chase him around a little bit. Obviously, Tyson's used to people that stand in front of him. Usyk isn't going to do that. He's going to be dancing, he's going to be moving, he's going to be bobbing. Interesting to see the open training session the other day where Usyk, a natural southpaw, was boxing sparring in orthodox. Tyson's a switch hitter anyway, so he can fight in either stance, but he was actually he was throwing punches in orthodox stance whilst Usyk was watching from the camera angle. So they built a little bit of mind games from both of them. Usyk's fought for the Ukraine, so there's a lot of love for Alexander Usyk, and I think he's a fantastic fighter as well. So you're not going to get any hate from me on this side of it. I think one of Tyson's big weapons is his psychological ability to get under someone's skin. He's not going to do that with Alexander Usyk. Alexander Usyk has got the madman stare, as we saw at the stare down the other day where Tyson refused to look at him. And then we had the weigh-in yesterday, and after the weigh-in, we got a little bit nasty, which I don't mind that. I like a little bit of pushing and shoving. Usyk was giving it back as well. People have said that, and I think I was one of these actually, was this fight ever going to happen? Would either of them, predominantly Tyson Fury, would they find a way out of this fight? And even up until today, obviously we've had Alexander Usyk and his team complaining about the ring canvas, which is interesting. So is that more mind games? And even up until they take to the ring tonight, I expect there to be a few more mind games, glove changes, all sorts going on before these two actually hit centre ring after their ring walk. I think it's a fascinating fight. They're both really, really good generals of the ring. Both can adapt their style to however the fight's going. There's been since the Ngannou fight, people are questioning whether Tyson Fury's on the wane, and that his time's come and gone. Obviously, Usyk, if he is 233 pounds, that's the heaviest I think he's ever been. So, is that going to interfere with his mobility? It's a fascinating fight. I've seen so many people predicting this fight this week. A lot of people going for Usyk. George Groves says he can't see past a Usyk win. As are a lot of other people. A lot of people coming out saying Fury's going to win. I've looked at the odds. The odds are very interesting as well. The bookmakers very rarely get this wrong. If you're just fighting on a winner, you're wasting your money. I think Fury's fucking ridiculous price, 1-1. I think Usyk's 5-4. Your best off chance is betting on a round. But who do I think is going to win this fight? I think it's going to be very cagey. It could also end up being quite a boring fight, in where they try and work each other out, and as they adapt and respond to each other, it could be cagey for the first 3 or 4 rounds. Or Tyson can come out and try and get him out of there early, as he did with Deontay Wilder in the second fight. I think if I had to put money on, I think the more you let Usyk get into a fight, the more he's liable to pick up points and maybe edge a points decision. Or is it going to be a controversial draw? If I was going to put money on, if I was going to bet on it, I'm not a betting man. I don't tend to waste my money on things. I'd probably put it on a draw, because obviously they've signed the rematch, which I don't understand the rematch clause. If one of these 2 guys comes in tonight and knocks the other one clean out, what's the point in a rematch if it's early on? I don't see the point. If it's a close draw at the end of it, or it's a close fight with one winning it very narrowly, I can understand a rematch. And I know Tyson didn't want this rematch clause. That was one of the things that they were arguing about last year. Maybe that he's that confident he's gonna do Usyk. I don't really know. I can see all outcomes in this fight. I can see Tyson winning on points. I can see Usyk winning on points. I can see Tyson winning by knockout. I can see him knocking Usyk out. I can't see Usyk knocking Tyson out, and I can see a controversial draw or sort of points win for either side. If I'm going to nail myself to a post on this one and get my ass off the fence, if he's mentally right, and he looks like he's mentally right, he's obviously trained for this, he's shed a stone, my money would be to back Tyson Fury on a late stoppage, somewhere around the 9th or 10th round. That's where I would go with the Undisputed Ring of Fire out in Saudi Arabia tonight. So I'm going to go for a Tyson Fury late stoppage, maybe round 9, round 10, somewhere in that area. Could just see him leaning on Usyk and sort of really beginning to let his weight to a couple of stone advantage, reach advantage as well. That's where my head is telling me. But what do you think? What are you excited for Ring of Fire tonight, the Undisputed fight, Fury versus Usyk? How do you think it's going to go? Who would you be putting your money on? Not sort of advocating betting here, just an interesting conversation. I'll be doing a live watch along tonight. If you're interested in watching it and you're not going to pay for it, I'm going to pay for it and sit and watch it, so you don't have to. Yeah, really interesting fight. It's something that's been 25 years in the making. Really looking forward to it, and I hope the fight just lives up to the build-up, because the build-up I think has been absolutely fantastic. Tyson has kept his counsel, been very generous towards his praise for Usyk this week, and then obviously it all blew up at the weigh-in last night. But yeah, really interested in the fight and what are your thoughts. So let me know what you think. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you don't, give it a thumbs down. There's a subscribe button if you're that interested to Scott Reviews Things, and I'll see you soon.